सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है।
अरे मेरे राजा,
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
MDH।
The AI summit is on. The focus is even more on AI, and with this talk of AI boom, jobs going, Vinod Kosla has made a comment which has created further panic in a panic-stricken environment. In my view, not necessary. He's a well-known tech billionaire and venture capitalist. He says IT and BPO services will completely disappear over the next 5 years. And then he says something as prophetic as all jobs will disappear in 50 years. Now, this is not an offhand remark. Vinod Kosla is the founder of Kosla Ventures, established 2004, deep investments in AI, sustainability, medicine, and other technologies. He was also an early backer of OpenAI, and he made a lot of money there. In other words, he's not a casual observer. He's deeply invested financially and ideologically in an AI-driven future. So it is possible that he's used overstatement to make a point that also suits his overall business interests. But you see, the atmosphere is already volatile. Just 5 days ago, TCS shares fell to 5.5-year low. TCS just collapsed. And across India's IT corridors, there is a growing paranoia. Will automation hollow out all services? Will AI wipe out all jobs? Are entry-level jobs all at risk? So when a prominent AI investor like Kosla says that IT and BPO sector will disappear, it amplifies that panic.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल।
ये रंग दे,
ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला। मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी, चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
अरे टेंशन किस बात की? सेंचुरी प्रोवुड का प्रीमियम प्लस है ना, लो एमिशन है, हाई डेंसिटी है, वाटर रेजिस्टेंट भी, टर्माइट एंड बोरो रेजिस्टेंट भी है। यानी ये है जहां नो टेंशन वहां।
प्रीमियम प्लस बाय सेंचुरी प्रोवुड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
The AI summit is on. The focus is even more on AI, and with this talk of AI boom, jobs going, Vinod Kosla has made a comment which has created further panic in a panic-stricken environment. In my view, not necessary. He's a well-known tech billionaire and venture capitalist. He says IT and BPO services will completely disappear over the next 5 years. And then he says something as prophetic as all jobs will disappear in 50 years. Now, this is not an offhand remark. Vinod Kosla is the founder of Kosla Ventures, established 2004, deep investments in AI, sustainability, medicine, and other technologies. He was also an early backer of OpenAI, and he made a lot of money there. In other words, he's not a casual observer. He's deeply invested financially and ideologically in an AI-driven future. So it is possible that he's used overstatement to make a point that also suits his overall business interests. But you see, the atmosphere is already volatile. Just 5 days ago, TCS shares fell to 5.5-year low. TCS just collapsed. And across India's IT corridors, there is a growing paranoia. Will automation hollow out all services? Will AI wipe out all jobs? Are entry-level jobs all at risk? So when a prominent AI investor like Kosla says that IT and BPO sector will disappear, it amplifies that panic. Kosla is a futurist. He's an attempted futurist. His job is to think in exponential curves. From his vantage point, radical transformation is profitable also. And that perspective naturally skews towards very aggressive forecasts. But to extrapolate that all IT, BPO will vanish, all jobs will vanish eventually, is a maximalist, Vinod Kosla kind of claim. Now, I believe in a little bit more of an Indian approach, a balanced approach. And earlier today, I spoke to the remarkable tech genius Sridhar Vembu, founder of Zoho Corporation, who we are very proud of, who offered a more grounded view. He acknowledged disruption, and I'm going to be playing out this. He acknowledged disruption, but he emphasized more on adaptation. Now, Sridhar Vembu is the founder of Zoho, homegrown company, hundreds of millions of customers, CRM, finance, workplace tools, all increasingly powered by AI. He was humble enough to say that history is witness to the fact that when a new technology disrupts the job market, many other jobs are also created. So he doesn't take a typical VC, private equity, maximalist, hyper Vinod Kosla kind of approach. He is humble enough to say that he said being a little behind does not mean that we are behind. It actually means that we will get better. And he cited, of course, Sarvam AI as an example of what a moderately sized Indian AI firm can do with scaling up. Personally, I would go, and I think it is better to go with a Sridhar Vembu than a Kosla approach, because if...
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, we ask why Anil Ambani, who's drenched and swimming in muck, absolute muck, the dodger called Anil Ambani, and whether he's finally going to get arrested. At 8:30 p.m. tonight, the version everybody wanted but could not get. Yes, General Manoj Mukund Naravane has broken his silence only on Republic. And at 9 o'clock, the biggest embarrassment to the Congress party, General Naravane has snubbed Rahul Gandhi directly. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Ladies and gentlemen, Anil Ambani is a man who is drenched in muck. Drenched in muck, his last big headline was about his iMessage exchanges with the sexual predator Jeffrey Epstein. Anil Ambani's last headline, which many in Lutyens try to gloss over, was that about his chats with Epstein, where he's speaking with Epstein about, quote, a tall, Swedish, blonde woman, unquote. To which Anil Ambani told Jeffrey Epstein, arrange that. A tall, blonde Swedish woman. This is the kind of conversation he had. This is the kind of muck he's in. But his muck is not the focus of my debate tonight, though I believe it should be investigated. My subject tonight is about the dodger called Anil Ambani. My subject tonight is that Anil Ambani has been issued his 6th summons. He has appeared once, skipped 4 times, and another ED appearance is knocking at his door for the 26th of February. Now he goes running to the Supreme Court and says, I'm cooperating. Absolutely, you are not Anil Ambani. You are not. You are evading. 1 week from today, his last opportunity. I think this time he will come because he might get arrested if he doesn't. But even if he comes, he should be arrested because this is a man who cannot be trusted. Our reporter caught a glimpse of Anil Ambani. And he's very much having a good time in Mumbai. He drove away. My focus is the fact that Anil Ambani is facing a very, very deep investigation in a 40,000 crore probe laundering case. And 40% of the funds were used for debt servicing of his group companies rather than for the intended purpose of house and finance, which means he took your money and filtered it here and there where he could make money, buy these kind of cars. And what we need to talk about, and which is my point tonight exactly, is that a large section of the funds were round-tripped. So he's a round-tripper also, where the money is routed back to Anil Ambani's company itself. So he's round-tripping money, taking money for one intent, round-tripping it another, then building mechanisms and then thinking that he's going to put out a version that he's too big to fail. Ladies and gentlemen, drenched in muck is not my issue. That the fact that he's probably the mastermind of a major financial scam is the focus. And my focus tonight is on why Anil Ambani is not behind bars. And why the rest of the media, you know that media, the corporate media, they don't have the guts to talk about Anil Ambani. Because they've been part of his PR machine in the past. And stealthily so, they are part of his PR machine today. They don't have the courage to talk about the nature of a scam, ladies and gentlemen. And more frightfully, the pattern of our response is what is making me, and you should as well, very nervous, because Anil Ambani might be going to the court today and saying he's not a flight risk. But our agencies need to ask themselves if we can give any longer a long rope to people like Anil Ambani, who are allegedly scamsters as per their own probe. Malia, Choksi, Lalit Modis are merrymaking on the plush islands. While we wait in India and the Indian agencies are pinning their hopes on extradition treaties and elaborate red tape mechanisms of the West, remember, we can't take that risk anymore with Anil Ambani. Anil Ambani gets a long rope, people will lose their faith in the system. And he's getting a long rope right now. And he shouldn't. I'm absolutely sure that no ordinary person would be able to dodge the agencies like he has. So tonight I have just 4 questions. What is the trepidation to arrest Anil Ambani? When the FIR was arrested in this case, was registered in this case in October 25 by the CBI, and the FIR named Anil Ambani, why are we sitting till February 26 still issuing summons to him? What is the trepidation to arrest, and why is he getting a long date of 26th? Why not say, come tomorrow? What is the trepidation to arrest when a forensic audit back in 2020 clearly flagged fund diversion, circular transactions and loans disbursed before sanction? Why did none of the lenders declare fraud? What is the trepidation to arrest when Anil Ambani and his companies were allegedly diverting funds secured through loans to mutual funds for years? It was going on, no? They thought they were the masters of all this while doing business with Jeffrey Epstein, claiming to represent people he had no right to. and engaging in obvious misdemeanors with him, as his dirty messages show. What is the trepidation to arrest Anil Ambani, ladies and gentlemen, when companies with no employees, negative net worth, and common directors granted crores in corporate loans without due diligence or KYC verification? And I would like to say at the end of the day that shame on the financial media of this country, on the so-called pink papers. Shame on them for not doing a deep investigation on their own in this matter, for not making this an 8-page headline, for trying to bury the story of the scam around Anil Ambani, and still being part of a either voluntary or involuntary, organic or inorganic PR machinery around a man with the reputation, or rather lack of reputation, of Anil Ambani. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't let him dodge anymore. Should he be arrested? You judge, we debate.
Mr. Anil Ambani, why are you avoiding investigation? Mr. Anil Ambani.
This is Anil Ambani being stopped by Republic TV and driving away as specific questions are asked.
Mr. Anil Ambani, why are you avoiding investigation? Mr. Anil Ambani.
Seeming to dodge specific questions, like he has dodged the 4 summons of the Enforcement Directorate already. His wife, Tina Ambani, has skipped the ED summons yesterday. Instead, Anil Ambani, who's embroiled in the filth of the Epstein files and neck-deep in allegations vis-a-vis the ED, filed an undertaking in the Supreme Court of India, saying he isn't at flight risk. In his affidavit before the Supreme Court, Anil Ambani seems to be ironically banking on a good character clause, almost saying he hasn't left India since the probe began in July 2025 and had no plan to travel abroad. The coterie around Anil Ambani has been behind bars. His aide, Ashok Kumar Pal, was arrested in October last year, and Puneet Garg, a former director of Reliance Communications, has also been put under arrest 3 weeks ago. But the long rope to Anil Ambani has been under intense public scrutiny for multiple reasons.
The charge levelled against Anil Ambani is of diversion of funds, and the moot question is whether at all he was aware of it or not. Anil Ambani maintains that these decisions were essentially taken by the board members. Documents accessed by Republic TV clearly goes on to indicate that Anil Ambani was very much aware of the diversion of funds. In fact, he has chaired various meetings of the lenders where he has essentially spoken about the financial condition of his own companies.
With the scale of the alleged loan fraud amounting to 40,000 crores and alleged irregularities amounting to 17,000 crores, will the Enforcement Directorate finally swoop down and make the Anil Ambani arrest? Or will it be a sword dangling as a political hammer? Or will Anil Ambani be another name added to the listicle of Vijay Mallya, Lalit Modi and Mehul Choksi? The nation demands answers.
What is making the Anil Ambani matter extremely serious and consequential, Santosh Mehrotra, is the fact that he started to get a little brazen about it. He doesn't think it is necessary for him to respond to an agency summons, and the agency just keeps giving him a next date. With anyone else, they would have told him, come tomorrow morning. But with Anil Ambani, they want to make it comfortable. They want to say, okay, take your time, Mr. Ambani, no problem. You didn't come the 4th time. Your wife didn't come. Why don't you take a week, have a good weekend and come after that? That kind of approach in a matter as serious as this is not just the tip of the iceberg, but a reflection of the sad state of affairs about Anil Ambani. Dr. Mehrotra, this is getting very, very concerning, isn't it?
Well, it should. After all, the forensic audit, the loans were taken between 2013 and 2017. The forensic audit had already been completed in 2019, and reports were submitted. And nothing really seems to have happened since then. I think what we need to be aware of is that this is a case filed by a former retired IS officer of very great integrity, who was himself a expenditure secretary in the Ministry of Finance. And the opposing parties are the Union Corporate Ministry, ADAG, obviously Anil Ambani, plus the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. So essentially what is being alleged here is, despite the forensic audit being submitted, it took the State Bank of India and the other two banks which have loaned thousands of crores, they've actually filed an FIR, I understand, only in 2025. So if Mr. Ambani has not been arrested so far, we shouldn't be surprised, because actually all the delays have happened on the side of the parties which extended him the money, which report to obviously the Ministry of Finance and the Corporate Affairs Ministry. So I think we cannot only be pointing fingers at ADAG alone. The matter goes beyond that, because the other side in this case are the Union Corporate Ministry and CBI and the Enforcement Directorate.
It's sending a very wrong impression, Manish. You know, because he has this habit of dodging the summons of the Enforcement Directorate. He has a practice, either he skips or he does not appear in person. And despite this precedent, he keeps getting a fresh summons. Now his wife has also started to do that. She has marked her second disappearance and non-appearance from a summons, using the tactic of adjournments, and she's yet to record her statement, which means it is deliberately an attempt at not testifying. I'm not talking about his presence in the Epstein files, where he asks Jeffrey Epstein, who do you suggest? And he says a tall Swedish blonde woman to make it fun to visit, to which Anil Ambani says, arrange a tall Swedish blonde woman. That is another matter. Yes, you can. The point is, you know, in any other country, he would have been behind bars. And the rule of law is what is coming under scrutiny now. Why does the rule of law, Manish, not appear to impact people like Anil Ambani? Why is he getting these special privileges?
Good evening to you, and good evening to my co-panelists and all the viewers. I would like to assure you, Arnab, and through you to all the viewers, that the rule of law is actually hammering him. Somewhere around 14 to 18,000 crore rupees of his assets have been confiscated. This would not have happened had the rule of law not been applied with full force on him. So I think this is something very important. But Mr. Mehrotra forgot to tell that majority of these loans were sanctioned in 2013. And from 2013 to 14, if you go and see RCOM's financial statement, you will find that most of these loans were disbursed during 2013 to 14. And it was a muck that Congress party gave to this government, which this government has actually done great things and ensured that it's cleaned up. Right from the kind of banks were in mess to these kind of loans, and you talked about the kind of malpractices that were happening. All those were sorted out, and he's
no, but it doesn't answer. It doesn't answer my question. Now, if you are going to argue with Santosh Mehrotra, if he's going to argue, PK, that Santosh Mehrotra is wrong about the time and who was his initial public beneficiary, that does no impact on why he's being given a long rope in 2026. PK?
Well, first of all, it has to be established that there is a criminal case against him. If there is a criminal case, he will be arrested. As far as I understand, it is still a civil matter, and the ED has attached some of his assets, which is the correct step to take. It's not as if he's going scot-free. I mean, he has He has lost a lot of his assets, which will go towards
No. He's not lost
effectively
assets.
repaying
He's
some
not.
of the loans.
He's not lost assets. See, the Bank of India classified loan accounts of Arcom as fraud. This is not a businessman who doesn't know how to do business. The bank alleged that the Reliance Group of ADAG of diversion of loans and non-compliance, and not just Bank of India, but also Ashutosh, and I'm going across to Senior Advocate Ashutosh, who's with us on the program, Ashutosh Srivastava. The Bank of Baroda, the State Bank of India, classified Reliance Communications and former non-executive director Anil Ambani's loan accounts as fraud. So he's done fraud, and he's having a good time. He's in cricket matches, marriages, holidays, having a good time. It's just setting a terrible precedent, Ashutosh. Terrible precedent.
Yes, let me explain. See, first of all, the probe is under the, Supreme Court. Because the PIL was filed in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court ordered that there has to be investigation under its supervision, which is happening at present. Now, if we talk about his statement, what he has made through his affidavit also, that he says that he was non-executive director. Now, this term, non-executive director, means that he says that he was not the person who used to take direct.
Who is the beneficiary?
Day-to-day. One minute. I'm coming to that. Arnab, I'm coming to that. Now, if you see section 149(12) of the Companies Act, which says that if a person is proven that he was not, the executive director and was not directly taking the decisions, can be exempted from such criminal prosecution unless and until it is proved that he had his consent, having the knowledge, and he was totally involved into that particular activity. Now, you can ask me, no, he was involved and that there is allegation against him. That is fine, but it is allegation. Obviously, the investigation has to take place, and this is what the Supreme Court is asking. The major concern here is that he should not leave the country and go away, and he should not avoid the investigation. That is the major portion here, major part here, for which he has filed the affidavit in the Supreme Court that he would not fly, beyond India unless and until there is a proper permission by the court.
This is not his. No, he has no choice. I don't understand this. I mean, please explain to me, Ashutosh. You will not comply with ED summons. You will be seen in all your luxurious surroundings, buying cars worth crores and living in houses worth hundreds, maybe thousands of crores. And you have taken away, siphoned public funds. I mean, Santosh Mehrotra, I think we need to bring this issue down to the fundamentals. No. Is there a fear of arresting Anil Ambani? Is there going to be too much corporate tamasha?
No.
Let there be.
Coming to that,
No.
See, the arrest can happen only as per the provisions as prescribed under section 19 of the, PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act.
These are all interpretations by the prosecution.
For which there has to be the evidences which says that he was actively involved into the transactions. Unless and until the ED and the CBI who are investigating the matter comes to a conclusion that he had the direct role, as it was found out in Mr. Garg's matter as he was arrested earlier, stating that he was having the direct role into the matter and, the transactions.
What is this direct thing that you're trying to build? So now, 1 minute, Santosh, the strategy seems to be to distance Anil Ambani from the alleged crimes that have been committed out here, and to present him as some kind of Mickey Mouse character, poor little fellow, knows nothing, walks around like Donald Duck in his office, has no idea. He's simpleton. He's a simpleton, poor little fellow with bad employees. Who's going to buy that? Who in the country is going to, are you going to buy it, viewers? Santosh, it's more serious.
No, of course it is extremely serious. The point is that whenever the loans might have been taken, what's important to establish is the following: that the diversion of funds is the matter at hand. why that there were massive scale diversion of funds into shell companies and companies abroad, and all of this would have happened obviously well after the loans were taken. Now, the investigation clearly has been going on for a while, and that discovery had already been made by the three banks. Otherwise, why would they have referred the matter to the ED as well as the CBI? So the real issue that arises is, why is it that this entire investigation has taken as long as 7 or 8 years to bring it to the point where, even the talk about him being arrested can be brought up? Because after all, even his employees, the senior employees who have been arrested, as you just informed us, they were arrested late last year. So, in other words, there have been extensive delays in the investigation. There is clearly enough of information available from the detailed forensic audit reports that have come out for the action to have been taken. But that action has not happened.
Now, this case is coming under public scrutiny. Let me share why, Manish. What people are asking, that this is a rerun of Malia, Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi. And all the cases have involved systemic siphoning of public funds. And all these people, especially Malia, thought, I'm too big to fail. Whose money? Manish, PSU funds, people's money, nationalized by the Indian government to benefit the people of the country, not to buy Rolls-Royce cars for Dodger Anil Ambani, to fly down to New York to meet Jeffrey Epstein, who will arrange tall, blonde Swedish women for him. Is this the purpose of the taxpayers' money? Manish, see, there will be scrutiny on this man and how you're dealing with him.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. I agree with you. And I must assure you that I did, that this particular case actually came into light in 2020. It was after 4 years of disbursement that the banks realized that there are massive, in fact, fraud which has happened. And that is why the case has taken so long. So, the entire disbursement happened till 17. It took 4 years to get disbursed from 13 to 17. The fraud got caught around 2021. The legal recourse was taken, and that has ensured, and the CBI, the court, in fact, that FIR was filed somewhere later on. And that's why this court, this entire court proceedings and everything under Supreme Court is going on. And as I mentioned earlier, that this is a very different case than what you have mentioned about Malia and other people. Because here,
how is it different?
It's
how is it different?
This, 18,000 crore has been confiscated, and most importantly, the court is under it, and the government has ensured that he has not moved outside. So he's facing the heat, and if he has done any wrongdoing, as per the court, as per the law, he would be behind bars.
No, what was the Harshad Mehta scam about? Let me remind you. I don't, now this is going to make you jump.
No.
What Harshad Mehta, what was it? Are there not similarities with Harshad Mehta? This is business that is markets, in the sense that during the Harshad Mehta scam of 1992, it was later found that Harshad Mehta had bribed the bank officials to gain false BRs to run his short-selling business in the BSE. Right? Now, therefore, please understand, businessman-banker collusion, people of India, citizen getting cheated, exploitation of flaws in the banking process, layering and diversion of funds, systematic siphoning of public funds, fraudulent accounts. It can't get more serious than that, PK, if you look at only substantively the issues we are dealing with. Then you see this man hanging around, going to shadi, jumping here, there, as if nothing happened. If he gets away, people will lose faith. People will lose faith, PK. This is becoming too high profile now. This case, the knowledge among the people.
Well, I don't think there's any real danger of him escaping the country. One of the big differences is that he has taken loans from the likes of Shanghai Electric, and he has faced the law in the UK courts already. So it's a little more difficult for him to leave this country because there are cases against him outside India as well. I think with regard to this particular matter, the big difficulty is that if fraud has been established, then what is required really is that the banks that are alleging fraud, Bank of India, as you mentioned, or Bank of Baroda, should file a criminal case against him. If they file a criminal case against him, then it's possible to do what you are suggesting, which is to arrest him. But if there isn't a criminal case, if it's still a civil matter, then arrest is not the first option. What is required is a clear investigation, and the ED is in that process. The ED is attaching some of his assets. And thereby ensuring that
that's saying that a person can pay his way out. I don't think this can be because I found what happened with these brothers who were there, the Sandesara brothers. I found it horrible. I found it unacceptable that the court allowed them to get away by paying a certain amount to lose the sense of criminality. This sets a wrong precedent because if suppose you cheat people of 20,000 crores and you pay 5,000 crores to get the criminality out, it becomes a model. Santosh Mehrotra, I will cheat someone of 20,000 crores. I will spend 1,000 crores on lawyers and 5,000 crores as an initial payout. I will bring some of the money outside the country and then I'll go scot-free.
I just wanted to comment.
No, Manish, these are not good things. No, these are Manish and Ashutosh. This is bad.
Because there is a Supreme Court lawyer also, he would clarify. But I thought that CBI has registered an FIR and that itself criminal law has been triggered. And then Enforcement Director is also probing under PMLA. And that's a serious criminal statute. So I don't
I'm saying he seems to be taking the whole system for granted. No,
he is not.
And he's a master at it.
Criminal investigation. And he is entitled to the similar processes of law as you and I are.
I don't think. I think he's getting much more than any normal citizen would. No.
Probably he's taking advantage.
People are watching. He's taking advantage of his profile, his connections. Santosh Mehrotra, perceptually, how do you view this?
No, perceptually, I think PK keeps bringing up the issue that unless a criminal matter is established, he can't be put behind bars. I think, as the lawyer is rightly pointing out, the PMLA, a violation of the Money Laundering Act, is actually going to make him liable to be criminally prosecuted and hence can be possibly put behind bars. I think that's essentially. So I think let's not get into the civil versus criminal matter.
No.
There is enough forensic evidence emerging in respect of diversion of funds, fraud on a massive scale, routing of funds abroad and then bringing them back through automatic approval processes into getting money through the legitimate purpose of FDI, foreign direct investment into an Indian company. All of that. There's the issue of his buying a luxury yacht, using these funds. So there is a lot out there which has been alleged in the petition that is currently being investigated. What we would like to see happen, Arnab, I think at this juncture, is that the matter has dragged out long enough, 5 years clearly since the forensic audit report came out, and we haven't come to a fruition.
Well, I think it's very serious. very concerning, and I'm sure the government will be worried about the impact it could have on perception if he continues to behave this way. I thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other very big story we broke was our interview with General Manoj Mukund Naravane, former Chief of Army Staff. This is the backdrop. The entire first half of the budget session of Parliament was washed out over this unnecessary controversy over General Naravane's yet unpublished book. Rahul Gandhi selectively used excerpts from the so-called book to make this false claim that the former Indian Army Chief General Naravane had been left high and dry by the Modi government during Operation Galwan. And for days, Rahul Gandhi and the Congress waved this so-called book to claim that the Modi government was indecisive vis-a-vis China on Galwan. And the entire country saw such engineered chaos in Parliament and such full-time theatre by Rahul Gandhi that the line between truth and lies appeared to be blurred. Now, in all of this, the center of the controversy, the dramatis persona, General Naravane himself appeared out of sight, uncontactable, buried away from the media, and he became impossible to contact and connect for even a small reaction. And this allowed a fair amount of ambiguity to remain. And that ambiguity was capitalized by the Congress and Rahul to claim that they were speaking on his behalf, that Rahul Gandhi was echoing directly the views of General Naravane. It was almost as if General Naravane was unable to speak, but he had told Rahul Gandhi to speak on his behalf. In that context, our exclusive interview done in Debunking this morning with General Naravane becomes extremely significant. And speaking to the Republic Network's Alisha Nair, he has made three things clear. One, that India has not ceded a single inch of land to China, countering Rahul. Two, he counters Rahul directly when Rahul Gandhi says that he didn't get a free hand from the Modi government, saying anybody can say anything. That's very important. And thirdly, he strongly questioned the magazine itself that published the article, attacking it for irresponsible journalism, quoting unnamed sources. This is as direct a counter as it can get.
For 2 weeks, Rahul Gandhi used General Naravane. For the entire budget session, he waved his unpublished book as a political prop outside and inside Parliament. Now, the general hits back. Nobody needs to have any doubts, he says, that India hasn't given an inch of land to China.
Especially about the statement that you have already given that not an inch of Indian land had been taken by the Chinese. Do you still maintain that?
I think you should ask a reverse question to the Chinese, that have they occupied any Indian land? And answer to that question, I think, will satisfy all those who have any doubts on this matter.
This destroys everything that Rahul Gandhi has been saying on Galwan. It's a huge embarrassment for Rahul, who has been making wild claims about Indian territory lost to China. But that's not all. Naravane hits out at the magazine that slyly used unnamed sources in the article about his book to make their own political inferences. He tells people not to take the article that uses the questionable tactic of using unnamed sources to make a huge claim, which then Rahul Gandhi used in Parliament.
Karwan article has also quoted that you were allegedly recalled that Prime Minister instructions conveyed jo uchit samjhe wo karo. Did this mean that the Prime Minister gave you a free hand as a Chief of Army Staff to take calls you needed to be, or or the other way around, whether Rahul Gandhi is saying that you were left alone?
See, once again, we cannot take cognizance of articles which are published quoting unnamed sources, what is right, what is wrong. So let it be for the time being at that. And as and when things get clearer, we can discuss these issues more in depth.
Naravane isn't wrong, and this further destroys Rahul Gandhi's tactic and argument. While Rahul claimed that the magazine article was editorially strong, Naravane questions the unnamed sources tactic in the article, questioning its conclusions. And although he's soft-spoken and almost shy, Naravane is angry, clearly very angry, at Rahul Gandhi for making the claim that as army chief he felt alone. And that as army chief he didn't get the clarity or support from the political leadership.
Sir, Rahul Gandhi has also said that you, in your book, which is an unpublished book, it is alleged that you felt really alone because Modi government did not give you clarity of instructions at a critical moment in Galwan. This is what Rahul Gandhi has alleged. What is your response?
Once again, anybody can say anything. I am not obliged to comment on anything, which is not actually my concern.
That is as direct as one can get to taking on Rahul Gandhi. Because while Rahul Gandhi claimed that the army chief felt alone during Galwan, the army chief clearly dismisses it, saying anyone can say anything, which clearly means that that's not the case. Now, for the past 3 weeks, the General Naravane affair has given the Congress fodder because General Naravane hadn't said a word. The publishers were forced to issue clarifications, Parliament was stalled, and speculation spread like absolute wildfire. General Naravane appears tired by this, but not unaware that an attempt at book publicity may have gone too political for his taste.
As your unpublished book has become the focal point in the Parliament, are you being misquoted or are the allegations accurate?
I think we should not live in the past. We should look ahead, go in the future. I have written a new book, Murder Mystery. I'm writing the sequel to that. So let us move on and, as I said, not dwell in the past.
Politically, this clarification directly by General Naravane sets the record absolutely straight. For the Congress, it's a wake-up call that the rashness and shoot-and-scoot approach of its leader is now not without harmful consequences for his own party. For the government, it's a certification of their position that Rahul was lying all along once again. A Republic Super exclusive filed by Alisha Nair for Republic TV.
General Shankar Prasad, General G.D. Bakshi, General Bishambar Dayal and General K.K. Sinha. First to General Shankar Prasad. There are various points. The most substantial point where he says that there's no question of ceding any land to the Chinese. Now, Rahul Gandhi says 12,000 square kilometers of land has been ceded. That is the fundamental premise, and it's got a pretty straight counter in this short interview with General Naravane. General Shankar Prasad, your thoughts?
I can't hear him.
General Shankar Prasad, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
I can you?
Yeah, well, yes, I can hear you as well. Yes, let me just make a couple of basic points on this matter. There is a debate in the Parliament on a certain matter. You suddenly bring out something which is totally out of context, which has got no relevance. The point is, 2 points are very important, which you've just said. Firstly, do we believe the army chiefs or not? So many times in the past, many opposition political leaders have critiqued the armed forces on whatever we do. So you say we don't trust the armed forces. I trust the armed forces. I retired many years ago, as you are aware. But what the army chief says, I have to agree with him. What source do I have? What communications do I have to find out whether an inch of land was lost or not lost? We read the newspapers. We listen to the radios and the television. We look at the social media. But at the end of it, we trust the DGMO. We trust the army chief. We trust the government. There is no other method I can check. 1 meter loss or 1,200 meters loss or 12,000 meter loss. The army chief has categorically stated that we haven't lost an inch of ground. Well, I support the army chief and I believe that the nation must support it. The second point about his book. Look, the book is something which is published in 2000, not even published, sorry, believed to have been issued in 2020. It's lying with the Ministry of Defense. Ministry of Defense has not cleared it. And there are certain leakages. How the leakages have happened, the Delhi police perhaps will find out who leaked the book. But the point is this. What is so disturbing in that book? Whatever little we've been listening to the media, it says that the army chief asked the government and the defense minister said, "Jo aap uchit samjhe kariye." अरे भाई इससे better और हुक्म क्या हो सकता है? You do what is appropriate. You are a military general. You've got an army which is professional. You've got professional battalion commanders, brigade commanders, corps commanders. You do what is right.
Absolutely.
And in self-defense, Arnab, even a policeman is allowed to fire. So where is the problem? If you are being attacked and you think that your position is compromised, obviously you have to attack.
No, what happens here is, what I feel, General, what happens here is that Rahul Gandhi was betting on the fact, and on this I'll get a view from General Dayal. Rahul Gandhi was betting on the fact that General Naravane will not counter him. He's betting on the decency of a former army chief, saying, I can use his name, I can do whatever, I can come to any inference. He's not going to speak to anyone in the media, so I will have my fun in Parliament. And that has ended up, that strategy has ended up failing, is my view. General Dayal.
Well, Arnab, firstly, let me congratulate you if you have brought the ex-chief on an interview and he has settled all the issues, which I'm sure we will see in your interview. So that's a great job done, because the ex-chief has been under question not only from the opposition or from the people in the parliament, but also some of us have been making vague statements that we don't know what the chief said, we don't know really how it is. So firstly, you will settle that. Compliments to you. Secondly, I'll come to the key issue. Look, we army people, we are veterans, we are not politicians. We fully trust our chief, we fully trust our ex-chief. They are our chief and ex-chief, and there's no doubt. We stand by them, we stand by each word of them. We do not like their statements to be diluted. Secondly, my critical issue in this whole game is only, which is totally security related. And I'm a soldier, a veteran, and I'll talk only that fact. My question is that if in Galwan, China had violated where we had suffered casualties, then I am very clear about it that we were facing an enemy, we were not facing a friend or a neutral guy who after 1993 up to 2000, those 4-5 treaties, had said that border will be maintained peacefully, tranquility, without arms. My serious concern is that if 30th this incident has got any, then it's just, I don't think any veteran or anybody will say, once you are facing an enemy, then last man, last bullet, last man on the post, he is clear what he is to do. And I blame both the army leadership also, and if political leadership had said, which we do not know, that no, you will do everything, but you will not open fire. I don't know. I mean, I wish somebody can clarify that after 16th of June 2020, the political leadership had said clearly that thereafter, if the army feels Chinese ingress or Chinese try something, you are free to fire. If somebody has said, no, you will do everything but not fire, I don't know about that issue. My issue is simple, that SOPs, as far as I am concerned, and I'm worried about the future war. Though Op Sindoor, operationally very good, but it is an air battle, standoff battle, it is not a visual battle. I'm talking of ground forces, I'm talking of when our infantrymen
but on that
on
also,
General
Dayal,
we heard youngsters, the Chinese, Pakistanis taunting us that look, you will
No, General Dayal, that matter is also settled in the book. One minute. That matter that matter is apparently settled in the version that has come out about the book, where the Prime Minister is quoted as saying, "Jo uchit samjho wahi karo." Now one does not expect the political leadership of a country to tell the chief of the army staff whether his troops should walk, take a train, go left or right, or use an umbrella, or look down or look up. That is military strategy. And there is the point now is, General Dayal, we are in a dangerous situation where Rahul Gandhi, General Bakshi, has tried to create a divide between the army and the political leadership. That is a very dangerous thing for a leader of opposition to do. That is my own point. Specifics we can discuss. General Bakshi.
You know, Arnab, you are absolutely right. What did you expect the Prime Minister to tell the army chief? Tell the leading tank to get onto there, load an APFSDS round, 1 click up, 3 clicks to the right, fire. Okay, first round gone, didn't work. Okay, now use the HE80 round. I mean, don't joke. I mean, the very thought of this kind of a forward command from the rear makes our soldiers laugh. What the army chief expects at his level is a clear direction, political direction, which he said, use your professional judgment. Use your professional judgment. I trust your professional judgment. I have your back. Go ahead and do what you feel is right. We'll handle the consequences. That's the best order you can get as an army chief. Anything more than that would be interference in the chain of command. So, what the Prime Minister has said is dead right. So, I fail to understand what was the bravura about. Rahul Gandhi tried to make it sound like dereliction of duty on the part of the Prime Minister, the Raksha Mantri, the entire people up the chain, etc. Let me quote a bit of military history, Arnab, because it is very, very pertinent. 1967, Sikkim, Nathula, Chola, the exact same tamasha was taking place between us and the Chinese. You get into fisticuffs, you get into wrestling, boxing, karate, taekwondo matches. General Sagat Singh, later the hero of Bangladesh, right? He took charge as GOC 17 Mountain Division, right? And the first order that he gave was, the next boy who gets into a wrestling match with the Chinese, I will court-martial the blighter. You've been given a weapon to defend your country. These are not for display on the Republic Day parade. You are defending your country, use it. Shoot for effect, shoot to kill. Anybody who does less than that, I'll court-martial the blighter. That is clarity. And then we all know what happened in the Nathula incident. They opened fire on us, caused casualties initially. We gave it back with medium guns. Myanmar, the 5.5 inches, opened fire. They hit as far as Yatung. And 750 Chinese.
Sir, true. May I bring you back to the current? In the context, General Bakshi, and on this I want to go to General Sinha, of the ongoing issue. My simple point is, while you are all generals, you know how things work and you have a more nuanced perspective. You see, General K.K. Sinha, what have the people of the country been fed by Rahul Gandhi? That when the nation faced a crisis, the Prime Minister did not give the support to the army chief. That's a very dangerous thing. Now, at the same time, General Sinha, General Naravane in his book himself says that he was in a manthan about whether to use force, which after all you're dealing with China, what do you do? And then he used the visibility of certain medium-range tanks to intimidate the lower-range tanks of the Chinese, and they moved back. But he wouldn't have been able to do that without knowing they had a free hand. So I think it's important he's clarified today.
Good evening, Arnab. You are absolutely right when you are saying this, and I will just stick to the issue which is there we are discussing. First thing, you have settled certain things, ceding of land, caravan, that editorial that and felt alone. When the hot potato, words which has to that effect. In spite of the fact that it has not been authenticated that this book is out, these are in domain. What is important, and you have said that, in this budget session, which started on 2nd of February, and you are clearing it now on 19, because, interview has been taken by your people. See, let me clear it. I have been discussing with you or debating with you when this Galwan happened. It happened in 2020. From that onwards till date, one thing is, we know what the people, opposition, maybe sitting in opposition, wants to bring it out, that there is a big divide. Army is lying because day one, it has been said, not a single inch of ground. And today, in the interview, it is loud and clear, whether it is 2,000 square kilometer to 12,000 square kilometer,
how much time?
they are making the statement time and again. A lie which is repeated 1,000 times becomes correct, in the perception.
Truth, yeah.
And not on ground.
Yeah.
It's become a perception. And if this perception is there, out of 1.4 billion people of India, there is a section which believes it this way because there's a false, a wrong narrative is repeated times and again.
Correct.
And it has been done in 2026 again.
Yeah.
The second point, which I want to bring it out, I take it, what has come out, he has written this book, it has come out because you are quoting that he's felt alone. He is talking about this incident of Operation Snow Leopard. Your viewer has to understand. Galwan happened on 15th of June 2020. After that, Operation Snow Leopard happened, crude operations in August 29, 30 and 31st. He is talking about 31st August. See, after Galwan, crude cooperation must have been cleared. That you go to the area in the Kailash range. So, I don't believe it, that he will check back, what should I do if there is a tank advancing, whether to open a medium gun or something like that. So that is the responsibility of the people on ground like us, who may be a troop commander, maybe but the people who are
again I make the point, General Sinha, that people like you, General Dayal and General Bakshi and General Shankar Prasad know. And I don't know if you've noticed this today, I've deliberately kept all four of you eminent gentlemen out of the political panel, which I'll do at 9. But I'm glad that you have an army version out. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I would believe the army version any day over someone with a lack of reputation like Rahul Gandhi. On the other side, the political debate. The exclusive story you must not miss. The truth you must make viral.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho Befikar.
Amity has one of India's most advanced supercomputing facilities for AI research and teaching. Equipped with world-class facilities, the center drives interdisciplinary research and industry-academia collaboration, preparing students for disruptive AI technologies. Committed to India's global tech leap, Amity is proud to be the knowledge partner at India AI Impact Summit.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, with you always.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
The AI summit is on. The focus is even more on AI, and with this talk of AI boom, jobs going, Vinod Kosla has
powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho Befikar.
Amity has one of India's most advanced supercomputing facilities for AI research and teaching. Equipped with world-class facilities, the center drives interdisciplinary research and industry-academia collaboration, preparing